I'm an actor in LA, except I'm in Chicago, and I have a self-tape on location. I take you along on my self-tape, walk you through my preparation, introduce you to my reader, introduce you to my second reader, interview my second reader, who's also my mom. I parlay into a moment of vulnerability when I discuss being left on the cutting room floor of one of the biggest films last year. It's a fun little ride through the monotonous, simple life of an unknown actor. That's me. The intention is to share the ins and outs of what's really going on inside of an actor's head. Well, one actor's head. Me. I'm that person. I'm that actor. And then when the video is over, I'll meet you right back here in this hot tub, and we'll put a button on it. See you in a bit. I have an audition while I'm traveling. Let me get you set up here somewhere that makes sense. I'm an actor in LA, but I'm taping an audition at home at my parents' house in Chicago. I love how my dad's weed is just right there. Sorry, now people know you're cool. I'll definitely get the ring light higher for the purposes of the self-tape, but we've talked about this in the past, and if you guys are familiar with self-tapes, they're just like electronic auditions, and I need a white wall. So that should suffice. I mean, it's a lot more white space than I have at my place in Los Angeles, so I should be able to make do. It's about 2.5 times the size, I would say. Anyway, some of you might know that I do this vlog on my channel from time to time where I just kind of bring you the ins and outs of some of the stuff that I do that goes along with my acting career, because I just think it's kind of interesting content. I don't know that there's very many people that like discuss this as it's happening in real time. So there is always this funny trope, because any actor who lives in a particular market is kind of like afraid to leave that market, because they're like, as soon as I leave, I'm gonna get an audition. That seems to be this fated experience that always seems to happen. And anyway, here I am traveling, visiting family back home in Chicago, and I get an audition, which is awesome. I'm so excited about that. I talk about how we shouldn't be caring about algorithms and stuff as artists, and I'm trying to fight that as well in my own self, because I want to share these vlogs from my heart about my acting career, but I also want to share, you know, wisdom and insight about how I truly feel about acting and philosophy and art history and spirituality. Like, I've got just a lot of other interests, just like everyone else in the world does. Anyway, this is my favorite thing to do, acting. If I could just continue to work as an actor for the rest of my life, this is my dream. And I found that everything I kind of do creatively always has that through line of me acting, even if it's like a character. A lot of people say the best part about Chicago is the people. I think it's the food. A lot of out-of-towners are looking for the deep dish pizza. I'm more of a beef man myself. The best beef in town is at Conti Italian Market over there on Taylor Street in Little Italy. Family owned, it's been around since 1948. You're gonna walk in the Conti, you're gonna ask for Joey. Joey will sort you out. You're gonna say, Joey, I want the beef, extra juice, make sure the roll's all nice and soggy. You're gonna add jardiniere pepper. Okay, you're gonna tell them I sent you. You can take the L over there, you can park your car. You know, parking's usually pretty easy over there. All right, page me if you need anything. Go Cubbies. That I'm portraying, or if I'm writing a script, I'm playing all the characters. A lot of screenwriters will tell you that each character, that it's just them having conversations with themselves, different aspects of self, and inspiration from the people around them, their experiences, their history, things like that. It's just like an amalgamation of self. So in that way, I kind of love that my YouTube channel has sort of been all over the place, because it represents the creative process in a way. So as you saw earlier, I got the ring light out here. It's currently lighting me. Thank you, ring light. And actors on the go, or actors in their home, always have to figure out a way to tape, because you never know when you're gonna get an audition, a cool audition. So you wanna be prepared and ready to do your thing. Another wild part is, like, I just posted a video this morning about being a creative with multiple passions. It's like, okay, universe, we're multitasking. Art imitating life, imitating the commentary on my YouTube channel. I'm not trying to be a fraud. I'm not trying to be a voice of expertise or anything. I really am in the trenches with you guys here, trying to make it happen. We're all artists. We're all doing the thing. And of course, there are logistical things behind it. You have to make sure that you can deliver on the promise, but it's up to you to give yourself that permission to cross that invisible barrier of entry. And when you're a freelance artist, it's like you are the product. So you want to make sure that you're representing yourself well at all times. Or I guess representing yourself how you want to represent yourself. I guess that doesn't have to be considered well, right? But that's just a matter of perception. My perception might be different than someone else's perception. Good and bad, it's all about what we make it. I have an interesting video on the channel about unpacking lies. You guys might like that if you're interested to see more about like perception and what we deem as good and bad, right and wrong, and what is a lie, unpacking that, what causes us to lie, when is a lie a good thing, when is it a bad thing, getting into like the morals around that. Anyway, that's the type of conversation you can catch me having with my friends on a regular basis. If you're that type of person, you're in the right spot. And I guess this is good too, because I've been wanting to give more insight into like why I'm making these creative conversations and why I'm putting these out. Or maybe you can let me know which content you prefer, which content you get more out of. I want to be of service to this creative, illustrious community that I'm so passionately in love with. Either way, I'm loving having YouTube as a creative outlet for myself as well, to pour my expression into when I don't have an audition or when I am not on set. And we know that the industry's been in kind of a dry spell. So the fact that I have an audition is like, I am so stoked. I'm gonna do everything that I can to make sure that this is like the best tape possible, because I genuinely am grateful for every single opportunity I can get in front of casting, you know? So I want to showcase what I'm capable of, you know? I want to be able to stand behind my work. I know the people in this collective who connect with content feel the same way, even if it's not artwork per se that you're working on. Or if you don't consider yourself to be building a creative career, maybe you just don't consider yourself to be a creative at all, which if that's the case, go read Rick Rubin's book, The Creative Act. That will demystify that very quickly. Being a human is by nature and inherently creative, but I digress. Oh, also I was cut out of a movie last year. Don't know how much I can get into it, but it's called The Last Showgirl, starring Pamela Anderson, Gia Coppola directed, Jamie Lee Curtis, Kiernan Shipka, Brenda Song, Dave Bautista, Billy Lord, just a really, really, really cool cast. Oh, also, bless. I've definitely been able to kind of come to acceptance in it and just keep moving forward, because god damn, this is the nature of the creative arts industry. It is ruthless, it is difficult, it is heartbreaking, and we know what we're getting ourselves into. So we can be broken down, but we have to make sure that we put ourselves back together. It's based on a play written by Kate Gersten called A Body of Work. I played a character called Brad. This was Brenda Song's husband in the film, but there was a really cool arc that my character informed for the growth of Brenda Song's character. But a friend of mine once told me, many years ago, before this is someone I would consider a mentor, someone in the field who has accomplished things that I dream of accomplishing someday. She told me that the experience is what we take with us. And having a chance to be on set with your heroes is something that I do not take for granted in any way. That's an experience that I have, that I get to have, that I'm so grateful for. I'm so grateful for. I got to work with these people. This is my dream. I got to live that dream. And so that is the dream. The dream is in the work. It's not in the outcome, right? And I just thought that was a really wise thing to hear from someone who's been there. And so if you watch my content at all and you hear me trying to encourage other artists, it's like I would never, ever, ever position or place myself in any kind of position of authority. I just really genuinely want to encourage other people in the way that I have felt encouraged at times throughout my career, because I know what that can do. I know how far that can go. So I know I'm just some guy talking on the other side of a screen, but I really hope you can like sit with just that, like, you really are a creative, powerful force, and you really can do this. There's nothing that's stopping you from taking those steps for you. Anyway, this is not what that video is about. There's the light. I will always be thankful to Gia, Jackie, every single person on that set. This was such a like family project, and I could feel it through and through. These are relationships that I feel so thankful for and will have for the rest of my life. The message of the film, one of the messages of the film that really stuck with me, which was like around wow, how truly heartbreaking the creative arts industry is, and how it can be reduced so quickly and so unapologetically. I feel thankful that I continue to try to look forward instead of allow these things to break me, because it was a very, 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 very heartbreaking thing for me, if I'm just being totally honest. I have absolutely nothing but just genuine love and gratitude and fond, beautiful memories of that production. And I love that film. I cried like a baby because I was experiencing the heartbreak that Shelley was going through, because it was the same heartbreak that I was going through. And it's really incredible the way that art can move you like that. And I have to tell you that there was this Christopher Nolan Inception moment that was taking place, because I was very acutely aware that my heart was breaking from the experience of the film that is providing the same exact message. It still is really trippy. It's trippy. Uh, and being acutely aware of that in the moment too, a lot of my tears that were coming up were tears of gratitude. I was sobbing like a baby in the movie theater. Like, specifically, there's a moment that it cuts to Jamie Lee Curtis dancing in the casino. There's a pivotal moment in the story where you think Shelley's gonna regret her decisions. Wow, there's the light. This character is about what she says, and it's admirable. Everyone's actions get judged, right? Fairly and unfairly. But for the sake of this narrative, the choice that she made blew my mind, and also made me love being an artist so much. I love it so much. I think I've already gotten that through to you in this video, but I love it so much. It's all the self-tapes, there's the light, it's all the side hustles, it's all the headaches, it's all the sleepless nights, it's all the failed opportunities, it's all the successes as well. Live in those successes when they happen, because whatever it is that you are pursuing, whether it's your entrepreneurial endeavors or your creative aspects, or, maybe you're just trying to get out of bed today, it always helps me to think about my through line, right? Like my mission statement for my life, right? And I kind of realized that my creativity and everything that I do kind of boils down to storytelling. I know it's so lame, like I'm a storyteller. Storytellers always get roasted. It's all with the through line of acting, human behavior, like sociology, psychology, philosophy, stories, pop culture, pop art, art history. My favorite thing to do is just to fill myself up with inspiration and just pour it out. It's my favorite thing. It allows me to be a little bit more balanced when I don't always have the opportunity to act, right? Like when I don't always have the opportunity for a self-tape. I have somewhere to put it. I have somewhere to express. And it's so helpful. It's so cathartic and healing for someone who just constantly needs to express, apparently. Didn't get enough attention as a child, I think. Actor trope, right? Is that right? Mom? Just kidding. And actually, because I love it so much, and I have an opportunity to do it right now, I think I'm even gonna go do it right now. Because the more prepared I can be for this tape, the more likely I will be to book the role. The more likely I will be able to act more. So I'm gonna go. I was actually typing out a text to my manager. She emailed me separately a breakdown for this really cool horror film by this super cool director. It's really like pushes the boundaries, so I'm very excited about that. And because this channel, like, we reflect a ton on our whole entire process. Hi. I just wanted to take inventory and say that it's really, really cool to be in my hometown, which is a far way away from Hollywood, and be working on an audition. It's really cool when I think about it. It kind of puts a lot of things into perspective, so it makes me very thankful. And it makes me very thankful for where I grew up. It makes me very thankful for the support system that I have. It makes me very thankful for the friendships that I've fostered over the years and continue to nurture and hold dear. That's what life's about at the end of the day. I know we all have big dreams and everything, but our legacy really is about connection and the impact that we make on the people around us in the world. I really believe that. And so, cheesy, whatever. Maybe I'm just feeling nostalgic and sentimental right now, but I'm really proud of where I come from in a way that I never was when I was younger. And that's a nice feeling. Seeing things through new lens, new perspective, and having this channel as an outlet, a creative outlet in order to do it has been so cathartic and wonderful. And so it's cool to kind of check in moments like this and remember like, oh, I've got an ongoing YouTube series where I document some of the stuff going on in my acting life, like alongside moments that people might find interesting. So anyway, here that is again. Sitting here. I sat down at this picnic table here and I looked at my affirmation on my phone. I use that I Am app, which I love, and it says, I find joy and inspiration in nature. And I just thought, oh, what a perfect timing. Or what perfect timing. What a perfect timing. There's no such thing as time. My friend Meredith Vivian, one of the best actors I've ever met in my entire life. Also, bestie, love you. If you're watching, Meredith, shout out. Mwah. This audition is, it's gonna require me to have an actor as a reader, I'll say. Because I really, really love to book this. And just in general, any chance that you can get in front of a new casting director, you wanna put your best foot forward. And specifically with this casting director, I really want to make a good impression. So it's awesome. Also, fun fact, random fact, Meredith Vivian, who I just mentioned, her and I have been in 2 features together now. Meredith is that girl, ask around, joy, bright light, and one of the most incredible actors of our generation. Like, make it make sense. It doesn't. Love you, Mer. I'm excited to just get to work, dig my teeth in. I love this shit. Talk to you later. Many hours later. I sent in my tape. I loved what I did, or I thought I loved what I did, like last night when I sent it off, and then I woke up this morning like feeling like, oh no, I should have done this, and this, but it's just my own self sabotaging my own mind. We just can get in our heads sometimes as actors and as artists, so I just wanted to share that. That's so real. Currently going through that. It feels like this contracted feeling in my stomach. I'm like, oh, feeling shameful about like, God, I wish I was different than I am. Because the reality is like I was prepared. I really like my tapes. I just rewatched them just to make sure, like, because I was freaking out, like, oh my God, are these horrible? And they're good. But then my mind is like, oh gosh, it was supposed to be this and that, and then you go straight into that thing where it's like, I need to be different than I am, and not realizing that like, maybe we're all enough as we are. Maybe there's less that we have to be doing. Maybe our essence and how we show up is enough sometimes, And it's crazy how I can be duly aware of both of these things going on at the same time, but I love having this vlog in order to share it because I feel like it's so real. I talk about this all the time with my actor friends. Like, we all go through this feeling, and I ended up loving some of the takes that I did in rehearsal, so I ended up just sending those in, and I was having my mom actually read as my reader to help me just kind of rehearse and go through, and I ended up taping one of my rehearsals, and I was like, whoa, I really liked that. I felt really good on that. I ended up letting Meredith off the hook because I was like, I'm just gonna send in these tapes from rehearsal that I fuck with. I think they're great. Anyway, since my mom was my reader, you know, I don't come from a performing arts family, so I thought it would be interesting to ask her what her experience was like, right? Maybe we can have an interesting, like, deep, artful conversation, you know what I mean? Like, mother and son style, about, like, how it was to self-tape. You know, I didn't grow up with a stage mom or anything. Like, I'm pursuing this all on my own, as I mentioned before. You guys know that if you're still watching the video. Anyway, she should be over here any minute, so I'm gonna ask my mom some questions. You guys will get to meet my mom. I love that.
What are you gonna be when you grow up? An artist?
Okay, Mom, you're on my YouTube channel. Say hi.
Hi, everyone.
This is my mom, everyone.
Hello.
I want to ask you a little bit about your experience with that. Like, what was it kind of like for you?
I had a really good time. And we've done this before together, maybe a year or two ago when you were visiting once before. And I just think it's so much fun being in that world. The thing that I don't like is when I hear the playback, my voice.
Ah.
I mean, it's such a lack of expression. It's like, I actually thought I was doing a good job.
Mm-hmm. You were. You're doing a good job. Earlier in the video, I was talking about, like, dreams and, like, how what I'm doing right now for my career is just like a far cry from, you know, where we grew up here. And I was curious if you had any big dreams when you were growing up. Like, what did you want to be when you grew up?
So the biggest thing I always knew that I would be was a mom.
Well, that worked out.
That worked out very well.
3 times over.
Yes. I probably, when I was little, I wanted to be a teacher.
Mm-hmm.
Now when I think about that, it gives me such a headache. No, the only good thing about, in my opinion, about me being a teacher would maybe I'd have the summers off.
Yeah. Did you like school?
I always liked books, but no, school was fun, the social part of it.
Mm-hmm.
I liked that, but
Yeah.
I hated math, I hated science and history.
Were you more into art?
English was a good subject of mine.
Okay.
Kind of like you. You were good with spelling and English and writing.
Yeah,
things
yeah.
like that.
Our minds kind of work similarly.
Definitely.
Yeah. Well, my audience, whoever's watching these videos, I guess, one fun thing to know is that my mom is very well read. She's read more books than I think anyone I've ever met in my entire life.
Yeah, I feel like I'm never without. I have a few books going at the same time. I do an audio book, I do a regular book, and I also have a Kindle.
Interesting. That's so cool. I just like think about how many stories you must have in your head.
Yeah.
Very cool. What kind of stories do you like the most?
Right now I'm into thrillers.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like kind of things with a twist.
Okay.
Usually murder mysteries, things like that.
Do you remember when we were in Mexico when I was like, I don't even know how old I was, but it was the first time I was ever going to do karaoke. Was that Florida or Mexico?
That was Florida.
Florida.
Yeah.
And it gave me stage fright and it colored my experience with performing for many years. What do you remember about that experience?
Oh, I felt so bad for you. You wanted to sing so bad, and the song you picked was...
Oh, God.
You're the one that I want?
I think it was Grease, yeah.
It was a Grease song, and it was
go.
something where there's 2 parts.
Mm-hmm.
So the woman who ran the karaoke, she sang the female part, and then you sang the male part.
That's right.
And you had such trouble keeping up
Yeah.
that you ended up banging the microphone on the table and running away. I felt so
I
bad.
remember it viscerally, like I can feel it in my body still. Trauma. I think that might have been my first time ever like holding a microphone. There was a disconnect between the way my voice sounded in the microphone and then the feedback.
Right.
And I was like, I'm gonna get up there and do this because I do it in the shower all the time.
Well, you always wanted to be a singer.
Yeah.
You know. I should rephrase that. You always wanted to be a famous singer. Among other things.
I feel like I've always kind of been following my nose, and I just wanted to say and thank you for just supporting all of my creative endeavors. I'm gonna get emotional. All of my creative endeavors over the years, and just like allowing me to have my process and like time to figure it all out, because it's like I don't know that I would have flourished if I didn't know that I had a family that was just like down for kind of whatever the hell I was gonna get into next, you know?
Well, I wouldn't have it any other way.
I love you.
I love you
I wouldn't
too.
have it any other way either. Thank you, Mom.
Welcome.
She'll be back.
Bye.
I can fool my senses for a little while. Some things are too hard to reconcile. when I'm wide awake tonight, running circles in my mind. There's an answer I can find. Where did all our shadows go? I guess some things I'll never know. I guess some things I'll never know.
I hope you all liked the video. It was really fun for me to make it. I like this kind of free form vlog content. Let me know how you're liking it. Let me know if you got anything from the video. I love Chicago so much. I love being here. I love that this is my home. I hope you guys liked the video. Hope you let me know what you think. Let me know if there's anything that you found interesting, anything else you want to learn maybe, or anything else that I could learn. I know I could learn. There's always things I could learn. So if you like content like this, I have a whole playlist. I'm an actor in LA and this is what it's like. But if that's not your bag, I've also got creative conversations populated on the channel. I just invite people who think creatively to engage with my content and let me know about your art too and your content. I want to follow interesting niche creators who don't have millions of followers. Like, I want to connect with people like me, normal people trying to make miraculous shit happen. Fun fact before I go, when I was running around Chicago in my late teens, sneaking into bars, getting into trouble with all my friends, one of the things we would love to do is find public pools and sneak into them. And while I can't disclose exactly where I am, I will just say that that pastime has become harder and harder over the years, but that it's still possible. Nothing's changed except the fact that we're not breaking in to get wasted in the hot tub anymore. We're breaking in to find a moment of peace and inner stillness. For Christ's sake, for the love of God, I'm all drama. All right, take care, love you guys, and I hope to see you in the next video.